So let's talk about growth independent movement. Okay, so when we talk about growth independent movement, there will be movement on of certain parts of the plant, but there will be no growth. Okay, so certain movement of plant that do not result in the growth are termed as growth independent movement, and this is the definition for growth independent movement. Okay, so you can have a note of it also. Fine, let's move ahead. आगे देखते हैं. What we can say is, when we touch the leaves of Mimosa pudica plant, that is the complete name, the scientific name for touch me not plant, Mimosa pudica plant, the leaflet close. Okay, so Mimosa pudica is touch me not plant. Okay, here's an example. If you see the video over here, as soon as you touch it, what will happen is the leaves will be closing itself, or it will be shrinking into smaller size, right? Yes or no? So this is how it will react to that particular, it will react to that particular what you can say, a stimulus, right? Okay, so the leaves of Mimosa pudica is touch responsive, right? So the stimulus over here is what? It is a touch, and it is responding by shrinking into its size. Okay, so whenever some plants shows movement in response to touch, that movement will be called as seismonastic movement. It will be called as seismonastic movement. If you analyze this word, you have the a part of that word will be nastic, right? Nastic refers to what? Independent movement, right? Growth independent movement, and that I've explained it to you in the previous slide just now, right? Let's move ahead. Can you see any movement in the video? You saw some movement, right? The leaves are shrinking into its size, right? And it is showing some movement. Yes, then we can say, can you see any growth? Is there any growth in that plant part, in that part of the plant? No, we can say no, there is no growth. So this is a perfect example of growth independent movement. Okay, can is there someone else, is there someone who can tell me some more example for growth independent movement? Is there anyone?
Sir, opening of leaves of lotus during morning and closing during night.
Very good, very good, exactly, right? That's an perfect example for that one. It's a perfect example. Manish was right. Anyone else? Yes,
Sir,
Janvi is
that
also
plant
perfectly fine.
is
Yes, Janvi is also
Venus
perfect.
flytrap. That
Venus
plant is.
flytrap, yes. When you talk about Venus flytrap also, at that time also the kind of movement that is exhibited is growth independent movement. Why? Because it tries to catches the insect, right? Okay, so what we can say is there are n number of different types of movement in plants which are growth independent. It means that it means that the plants will be showing some kind of movement, but that movement is not a result of growth. Okay, so Atharva was saying that bending of bamboo during strong wind. But Atharva, if you talk about strong wind, so the movement was due to some external force. This movement was not because of the action of hormone, right? Because the wind was applying the force, the bamboo was bent. It is not because of the action of bamboo, action of hormones inside the bamboo. So this will not be an example of it. If you say that the wind is an if you take wind as an external stimulus in this example, that will not be the case. I hope so you've understood it well. Okay, so let's talk about it more. आगे देखते हैं. The movement is in response to the stimulus of touch. Okay, I have already told you. And this kind of stimulus, this movement is called as seismonastic movement. And I've already told you that growth independent movements, what that the growth independent, just wait a while, what we can say is that growth independent movement are called as what? They are called as nastic movement. And if you see the name of this movement, it is called as seismonastic movement. You can see the word nastic coming in its word, right? Yes or no? So this is a proof that this kind of movement is nothing but a growth independent movement. All of the growth independent movement will be named suffixed with nastic word. Okay, तो कोई भी movement के नाम के बाद nastic आता है, इसका मतलब क्या कि वो कौन सा टाइप का मूवमेंट है? ग्रोथ इंडिपेंडेंट मूवमेंट है. I hope so you have understood it. Okay. हाँ, Manish is asking that how many nastic movements are there. Okay, for as far as your textbook is concerned, there is only one nastic movement mentioned in your textbook. आपके textbook के अंदर सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक ही nastic movement को mention किया गया है. But apart from that also we have two more different nastic movement also. Let me name it for you. Very good question, Manish. And इसे शायद सभी बाकी लोगों का भी इम्प्रूवमेंट अच्छी तरीके से हो जाएगा. तो फर्स्ट वाला जो हम लोग के पास था वो क्या है, दैट इज seismonastic movement. Okay, and seismonastic movement was in response to touch. किसमें होगा? response to touch होगा. Okay, fine. Then let's talk about the second one. तो second one में क्या होता है? We have thermonastic movement. Okay, तो thermonastic movement में क्या होगा? response to heat होगा, मतलब heat energy का response होगा. ठीक है, but still growth नहीं होने वाला है. ठीक है. third one will be photonastic movement, and photonastic movement is in response to light. Okay, so Manish ने जो example दिया था, that opening of a bud of lotus flower during sunrise and closing of it during the sunset is an example of photonastic movement, right? So the lotus is not growing at all, but still it is showing some movement when it was opening its bud, right? जब उसका पूरा जो फ्लावर था जब खुला तो ऐसा मूवमेंट दिखता है, जब बंद होता है तभी मूवमेंट दिखता है. And that is because of what? Due to the presence of sunlight, and that will be an example of photonastic movement. Seismonastic का हम लोगों ने अभी just देख लिया, कौन सा? Mimosa pudica plant, right? Okay, the one which is remaining is what? Thermonastic movement. Let's talk about that. Okay, so let us say that we have balsam seed. हाँ, जानवी बोल रही है कि केमोनास्टिक मूवमेंट भी होगा. अगर हम लोग इसे देखेंगे तो हमारे पास बहुत सारे नास्टिक मूवमेंट है. आपके कंटेक्स्ट को रखने के लिए, करंट कंटेक्स्ट को रखने के लिए हम लोग बस इतना ही पढ़ेंगे, ज्यादा नहीं. ऑलरेडी मैंने आप लोगों को 2 एक्स्ट्रा बताया आपके टेक्स्ट बुक के हिसाब से. केमोनास्टिक फिलहाल के लिए थोड़ा छोड़ देते हैं. स्टिल जानवी यू आर करेक्ट. ओके, फाइन. सो थर्मोनास्टिक में हम लोग एग्जांपल लेते हैं बैल्सम सीड का. ओके, सो बैल्सम सीड दे लुक लाइक लॉन्ग स्ट्रैंड्स, लंबे स्ट्रैंड्स जैसे होते हैं बैल्सम की सीड्स. अगर आप देखोगे तो ऐसे लंबे स्ट्रैंड्स होते हैं इस तरह. ठीक है, आपने इसको बहुत बार इसके साथ शायद खेला भी होगा बचपन में जब छोटे थे. तो ऐसे सीड्स होते हैं, लंबे सीड्स होते हैं. as soon as you put these seed inside water, it will burst open, टप करके ऐसा आवाज आती है. फाइन. so this explosion of this seed is also an example of movement, and that was because of change in the temperature. As soon as you put the seed inside the water, the temperature of the seed changes, and that is why it shows some movement and it explodes. That is response to the to heat. I want all of you students to have note of all of these things that I have given to you. This will be not mentioned in your textbook, but it is still important for you to understand. So all of you have understood it well. If you want example of each of them, for seismonastic movement, Mimosa pudica plant and its shrinking of its leaf is an example. For thermonastic movement, bursting of balsam seed while inserting it inside water is an example. When you talk about photonastic movement, the opening and the closing of lotus flower in response to presence or absence of sunlight is an example of that. Okay, I hope so all of you have understood it well, and I guess none of you have any doubt or questions. ये तीनों टाइप के जो मूवमेंट है, ग्रोथ इंडिपेंडेंट मूवमेंट, ये आप लोग लिख के रखो. इवन इफ यू विश you can write one more also which Janvi suggested. It is called as chemonastic movement. Yes, Yash is saying thigmonastic movement. Yes, thigmonastic movement is also there. That is because of thigmonastic means getting turgid by एब्जॉर्बिंग लॉट ऑफ वाटर। तो जब बहुत सारा पानी को एब्जॉर्ब कर लेते हैं तो सेल मोटे हो जाता है, जिस वजह से जो प्लांट का पार्ट है वो एकदम स्ट्रेच्ड हो जाता है, और जैसे पानी को लूज कर देता है तो वो श्रिंक हो जाता है। सिस्मोनास्टिक मूवमेंट जो हम लोगों ने यहाँ पे देखा था मिमोसा पुडिका के अंदर, ये थिग्मोनास्टिक मूवमेंट का भी एक एग्जांपल हो सकता है, बिकॉज द श्रिंकिंग एंड regaining its original shape of the leaf of Mimosa pudica is also an example of thigmonastic movement, because it changes its shape and size by adding or removing water inside its cell. तो ये हो जाता है थिग्मोनास्टिक मूवमेंट का एग्जांपल। फाइन। Manish has the doubt. He is saying that what is the use of Nashik movement? So it is like it has many different uses. For example, if you talk about lotus plant, so so photosynthesis to take place, there should be larger surface area, and that is why as soon as sunrise takes place, it opens so that the surface area gets larger and more amount of sunlight can be absorbed. And during the night time, it closes so that there might not be loss of lots of transpiration or lots of water. Okay, so that is why that is how we can say lotus shows natural movement. When you talk about balsam leaf, balsam seed, they burst open so that the seed which are present inside them gets dispersed in different direction, so that there might be larger probability of those plants to get grown over there if favorable condition is there. So for propagation of for trees, balsam use that strategy. When you talk about mimosa plant, so mimosa plant on touch they shrinks. It is a defensive mechanism for cattles, against cattles. So जब cattles आजू बाजू में आते हैं, so जैसे ही cattles इन पत्तों को touch करते हैं तो पत्ते सिकुड़ जाते हैं. So what the cattles will be seeing is they will be seeing that the leaves are shrink, and they will be simply passing away from it. And later on what will happen is ये mimosa plant फिर से अपने ओरिजिनल पोजीशन पे आ जाएगा. कैटल ऐसे लीव्स को नहीं खाते जो सूखे हुए होते हैं, and that is how nastic movement are used. So nastic movement are used for different purposes in different plants. It depends upon what kind of plant are you talking about and what kind of movement are you talking about. I hope so Manish आपका आंसर आपके डाउट क्लियर हुआ. Okay, आगे देखते हैं. So that was growth independent movement that we have learned earlier, and now what we're going to do is we'll try to understand that how does it happens. Okay, so what is the thing which is responsible for this to take place? We'll try to understand that. Okay, so at the first place, let's say that this is a mimosa pudica plant, like it's a normal one. Okay, so as we know, movement in plants are brought about by hormones, right? We have already learned that all of the hormones, which is all of the movement which is brought by plant, that is carried away by that is taken place by with the help of hormones. Okay, and these hormones are in response to certain changes which is taking place in the surrounding, and these changes in the surrounding is nothing but the stimulus. Okay, so as soon as the plant gets some stimulus, there is secretion of some hormones, and because of with the presence or absence of these hormones, the plant tends to show movement. Okay, so that we've already learned in our previous lectures. So what do we know over here about mimosa plant? When we touch the leaves of mimosa pudica plant, the hormones are released, right? As soon as we touch the plant of mimosa pudica, there is some release of hormones. Okay, so let us zoom it and let us see about it in great details. Okay, so if we, as soon as we touch the leaves of the mimosa pudica, there is some releasing of hormones inside the place or inside the region of leaves where touch has taken place. Okay, so these hormones will be moving towards the stem. Okay, now just because of that, what will happen is just because of that what will happen is that there will be loss of water in the plant. So these hormones along with some ions move from one cell to another, passing the information. Okay, so what happens is, see, if you might have observed, you'll see that even if you touch a certain leaf of that or a certain region, not only that region but the entire part gets shrink, right? So how does the other leaves come to know that the leaves which is at the neighbor to the neighbor of that leaf is touched, right? जैसे for example अगर हम यहाँ पे बात करते हैं, so let me make mark it for you. So let us say that if this region has been touched, okay, so this leaf will also shrink down into its size, right? So how does this leaf comes to know that this leaf have been touched? So it is because of release of certain chemicals, and on release of these chemicals, what will happen is these chemicals will be spreading throughout the leaves. सभी leaves में वो फैल जाएगा, right? And because of that, all of the leaves will come to know that there is certain stimulus which is taking place in the surrounding, right? Ultimately, since all the information have been passed on to the entire leaf, what will happen is that the entire leaf will shrink down into its size. Okay, I hope so all of you have understood it well. Okay, let's see, let's proceed further. So what we can say is, so these passage of ions will be leading to certain transfer of message or certain action to take place inside the leaves. Okay, let's see. Ions cause the water to come out from the cell, leading to the cell to shrink. Okay, so as soon as there is presence of ions, what will happen is there's a process called as plasmolysis, because the concentration of ion outside the cell will be more as compared to inside the cell, and ultimately what will happen is that the water will be moving from the cell of the leaves out to the outside of it. Okay, and ultimately since the cells are losing some water, plasmolysis is taking place, and ultimately the cell is getting small in size, and or it will be getting shrunken down into small size. Okay, so this is what happens. Okay, let's see. So what will happen is all of the water or most of the water from the leaves will be coming out, and it will be moving towards the branch. Okay, so let's see. The change in the shape of the cell causes the movement in plant. Okay, now since the water was inside the cell, and the cell is now getting shrunken in size because there is no more water left inside the cell, and that leads to the entire change in the shape of the leaf of the plant. Ultimately, what we can say is there is some movement. Okay, so what we can say is that due to the presence or the absence of certain chemicals, there was exhibition of some movement. This is an example, a very good example to understand growth independent movement. Okay, so what will happen is these memos of Pudica plant on the response of touch will be shrunken down into small size. But since the information is conducted from one cell to another, the movement also happens at place different from touch. As I've already explained it to you, I already said that even if you touch over here, the response will be given out from these leaves as well, right? So what is the thing which is responsible for it? Because these chemicals go to all the other parts of the leaves as well, and that is why the other parts of the leaves also comes to know that there is some there is some stimulus taking place to which they are supposed to respond. Fine, let's move ahead. Let's see. So what we can say is, so what do we know about growth independent movement? What we've understood is that it is kind of a movement which is exhibited by plant without growth. Okay, so even if growth is not taking place, that movement can take place. Okay, the second point is what? That this movement is brought about by different hormones and presence or absence of certain chemicals. Okay, let's see. So when we talk about the movement occurs at a place different from place of touch, right? So even if you touch it at a place, it will take place in other place also. If you see this video or if you see this GI, will come to know that you are touching only the tip of this leaf, but still the entire leaflet is getting folded into smaller size, right? So this is why we can say that even if we touch in a place, or even if we touch in a single place or a part of the plant, the entire piece will be reflecting its response, right? Yes or no? Fine. So let's move ahead. We'll see. This means that the information has been communicated. What we can say is the information from these leaves have been communicated to other of the other leaves as well. I get it. The plant use electrical and chemical means to transfer the information from one cell to another. Okay, so electrical, it means not like actual electricity, but it is in the form of ions. Okay, we know that ions are nothing but charged atoms, right? So by transfer of these charged atoms, they can send very weak electrical signals as well. Okay, so what we can say is plant can use chemical as well as electrical means to transfer information from one cell to another cell. Okay, let's proceed. आगे देखते हैं. So see, I've already said electricity can be said as it is done by ions, or ions are nothing but charged elements or charged atoms. Let's proceed. And chemicals से क्या होगा? Chemicals कहाँ से मिलते हैं? Hormones. When we talk about chemicals, when we use chemicals for information transfer or communication, it means that we are referring to hormones. Okay. And when we are talking about electricity, we are referring to ions in case of plants. Let's proceed. आगे देखते हैं. There is no specialized tissue present for conduction of information, right? Like we human beings have a nervous system for proper conduction of information from one body part to another body part. But when we talk about plants, plants don't have any specific conducting tissues for transfer of information from one plant's part to another plant's part, right? So therefore, they are dependent upon chemical transmission or electrical transmission from a part to another. Let's proceed. आगे देखते हैं. The cell either swell or shrink and thus change their shape to cause movement in plant. Okay, so how does plant show movement in growth independent movement? They either swell by absorbing water or they shrink by releasing water, and by this swelling or shrinking, they can change the shape and the size of the part of the plant. Fine. So I want all of you people to have a screenshot of this slide so that you can have some notes of it, and it will be easier for you to understand the characteristic properties of growth independent movement. So these are all the summary points that you should know about growth independent movement. Okay, let's proceed. I get it. Okay, so some examples of growth independent movements are, okay, let's talk about some examples. We'll say lotus blooming. So blooming of lotus on sunrise or in the presence of sunrise is an example of the growth independent movement, right? So over here, the presence of sunlight is the stimulus and blooming of the lotus is the response, right? Let's see. Let's talk about tuberose. Okay. So on presence of tuberose, what will happen is, what will happen is, if you see, so we can say stimulus is absence of light. If there is no light, what will happen is, so these tuberose will bloom. So these, they have complete opposite stimulus response to that stimulus, right? So over here, lotus blooms in the presence of sunlight. When you talk about tuberose, they bloom in absence of sunlight. So even if the stimulus is the same, different species tend to respond differently. That is the idea that I want to tell you in this slide. Okay. So in response to tuberose opens the at night. Okay, fine. I hope so you have understood it well. Okay, let's talk about another one, Drosera. So Drosera plant is a carnivorous plant, and on receiving some on receiving some touch sense or stimulus, that is presence of some insect on its leaflet, which is very sticky. So as soon as some insect settles down on its leaf or on its palm, what will happen is that insect will be sticked over it just because of presence of some sticky enzymes which will not allow the insect to fly again. And once that happens, what will happen is Drosera will fold over that insect and try to release some enzymes, digestive enzymes, which will be digesting that insect and taking out all of the nutrients from it, right? So this is also a growth independent movement which is taking place by change in the level of water concentration in the cells, which leads to shrinking or swelling of cells. So the stimulus in this case is what? It is the insect, and the response is what? In response, the insectivorous plant like Drosera curls inward to trap the insect, right? So whenever we see, say, some movement in plant, we'll always have some stimulus and we'll also always have some response. Okay, so stimulus and response, they both are brought about both by the independent movement. Maithili is asking, so this is because they are having different hormones, right? Yes. And we'll be learning about hormones present in plants very shortly, and we'll understand that what are the different functions of different hormones that are taking place inside the plants. Okay, so let's talk about Venus flytrap. I've already mentioned about it. So Venus flytrap looks and smells like a flower to the insect, right? So it looks very attractive, and since it looks very attractive, what happens is the plants, the insects tend to get attracted towards these part of the plant, and they settle. As soon as they settle, the Venus flytrap flap closes, and that's why what will happen is the insect will get trapped inside the plant, and some digestive enzymes will be digesting it. You can see it in the GIF that I have inserted in this slide, right? Okay, so the stimulus is what that insect has settled on it, right? And what will be the response? The response will be that it will shut, close, and will release some digestive juices. Let's proceed further. So let's talk about fruit of balsam. I've already explained this about to you also, right? So over here also, if you can see, as soon as the balsam hits to the ground by falling off a tree, it bursts open and disperses all of its seed, right? So what is the stimulus over here? It is touched by certain force, right? So when it falls, it has it touches the ground, and it has certain amount of like kinetic energy, right? That kinetic energy, along with some of its potential energy, they both will be combining together to burst open, which scatters the seeds which are present inside them, which increases the likelihood for the seed to grow into a plant. I hope so all of you have understood it well. Manish is asking, sir, will it burst in our hands also? Yes, it will burst in our hands also if we apply certain amount of force. Okay, the force is not too much. Even if you like flap it, then also it will burst. I hope so you have understood it.